Okay, let's start. Today is a raining day. It's heavy rain outside, but now it's almost stopped, I think. Um, that's drizzle. That's the drizzle rain. I wake up pretty early today, but I lay in my bed and think something, watch some, uh, you know, iPhone and read some news, um, feedback some messages, and then I got up. I need to do this earlier because my daughter she has classes today. Uh, she's a music teacher, so she will teach online at home. So uh, I need to do this earlier, then I can finish earlier. Don't use too much data when she has license. Okay, let's begin. I like to read like this. My daughter asked me once, why do you do this? Then I told her, um, this is good for me. If I stream, I don't think I will, keep on reading for 1 hour. I may read for a few minutes, then I uh, read read out. Then I will just watch. Let's read notes silently, and that's not good for me. I need to practice English to speak it. Yeah, that's really important for me because I will have I will have work placement next year. So only a few months later. So I need to practice. I think it's not enough for me only 1 hour or something, around an hour. I need more practice. I will do more. If I have time. If I got time, I will do more, definitely. Mm, because I really want to be a good educator in the, I'm learning, um, I'm learning childhood education and care. So, and I really think this course is really, really, really important for for a person. This is a and the theory here to bring up to raise up to raise a children raise a child um, it's so different from China and this here they respect the little kids respect little kids a lot so and help them I think it's really, really good for me, for myself to do it. So I think I need to, say something before I read, record something for myself. This is some, just some idea, and I can just speak then to practice my English. That's good. Okay, now let's begin. The first is must be owned was Becky, just Becky, throughout all that night, open in the in the garret. In the garret, he had a she had felt a eager comfort in knowing that I need the garret. Oh, garret,
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 Garret, Garret.
garret. Garrett Gallo. She had felt a bigger comfort in knowing that on the other side of the wall, in which the rats scuffled and squeaked, scuffled. 哦，扭打，scuffle，拖脚行走，拖步
Scuffle.
，scuffle，scuffle，混战，拖脚行走。The scuffled, rats scuffled and squeak. 扭打，扭打。squeak 应该是叽叽叫 ，squeak， 断粗的尖叫声 ，yes， 吱吱叫 ，squeak。Scuffled and squeak. There was another young human creature, and squeak. There was another young human creature, and during the night that followed, the sense of comfort grew. They had little chance to speak to each other during the day, and during the nights that followed, the sense of comfort grew. And during the night that followed, the sense of comfort grew. They had little chance day. Each had her own task to perform, and any attempt at conversation would have been regarded as a tendency to loiter and lose time. Each had her own task to perform, and each had her own task to perform. At conversation would have been regarded as a tendency to loiter and
Loiter.
loiter and
Loiter.
lose time. 闲逛，磨蹭。磨蹭 and lose time。这个词我总是会 lose time and lose time. Don't mind me, Miss, Becky whispered. Don't mind me, Miss Becca, Becky whispered during the first morning. If I don't say nothing polite, some and be down on us if I did. I mean please and thank you and beg pardon, but I doesn't to take time to say it. But before daybreak, she used to slip into Sarah's attic. It's attic. I need to remember this attic. She will slip into Sarah's attic and button her dress as she required before she went downstairs to light the kitchen fire. But before daybreak, she used to slip into Sarah's attic and button her dress and give her such help as she required before she went downstairs to light the kitchen fire. And when the night came, Sarah always heard the humble knock at the door, which meant that her handmaid was ready to help her again if she was needed. During the first weeks of her grief, Sarah felt as if stupefied to talk. Stupefied. Stupefied to walk.
Stupefy.
Stupefy. Too stupefied to talk. 是惊讶，是 And Sarah felt as if she were too stupefied to talk, so it happened that sometime passed before they saw each other much or exchanged visits. Becky's heart told her that it was best that people in trouble should be left alone. Becky's heart told her that it was best that people in trouble should be left alone. The second of the trail of comforter, the not trail, trail, trail,
Trio.
trail. The second of the trio of comforter. The second of the trio of comforter was Ermengarde, but odd things happened before Ermengarde found her place. When Sarah's mind seemed to awaken again to the life about her, she realized that she had forgotten that an Ermengarde lived in the world. When Sarah's mind seemed to awaken again to the life about her, she realized that she had forgotten that an Ermengarde lived in the world. The two had always been friends, but Sarah had felt as if she were years the older. It could not be contested that Ermengarde was as dull as she was affectionate. It could not be contested. Contested. Contested.
Contested.
Contested. It is it it could not be contested. It could not be contested that Ermengarde was as dull as she was affectionate. She clung to Sarah. She clung to Sarah in a simple, helpless way. She brought her lessons to her that she might be helped. She listened to her every word and besieged her with the request for stories. And besiege, besiege,
Besiege.
besiege, besieged her with request. Besiege. Oh, siege, besiege. Besieged her with stories, but she had nothing interesting to say herself, and she loathed books of every description. And she loathed books of every description. Loathe.
Loath.
Oh, loath,
loath,
loath, loathed books, 憎恨 and she loathed the books of every description. She was, in fact, a person one would remember when one was caught in the storm of great trouble, and sorrow forgot her. It had been all the easier to forget her because she had been suddenly called home for a few weeks. When she came back, she did not see Sarah for a day or two, and when she met her for the first time, she encountered her coming down a corridor with her arm full of garments which were to be taken downstairs to mended. When she met her for the first time, she encountered her coming down a corridor. Corridor. So, corridor.
corridor,
Corridor.
corridor,
Corridor. 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 Come down a. Hmm? So, oh yeah. Come down a corridor with her arms full of garments. Full of garments, which were to be taken downstairs to be mended. Sarah herself had already been taught to mend them. She looked pale and unlike herself, and she was attired, attired in the queer outgrown frock.
attire,
Attire. Attire. And she was attired. It's so strange. 穿着衣服，明明她还有穿衣服的意思，她不给写成。Attire， 哦，穿上衣服。She was attired.
attire,
Attire. She was attired. She was attired in the queer outgrown frock, which shortness showed so much thin like. Ermengarde was too slow a girl to be equal to such a situation. She could not think of anything to say. She knew that what had happened, but somehow she had never imaged Sarah. But somehow but she had never imagined Sarah could look like this, so old and poor and almost like a servant. It made her quite miserable, and she could do nothing but break into a short hysterical laugh and exclaim, aimless and as if without any meaning. "Oh, Sarah, is that you?" Hysterical laugh and exclaim, aimless and as if without any meaning. "Oh, Sarah, is that you?" "Yes," answered Sarah, and suddenly a strange thought passed through her mind and made her face flush. She held the pair of garments in her arms, and her chin rested upon the top of it to keep it steady. Something in the look of her strange gazing eyes made Ermengarde lose her wits still more. She felt as if Sarah had changed into a new kind of girl, and she had never known her before. Perhaps it was because she had suddenly grown poor and had to mend things and work like Becky. "Oh," she stammered, how are you?" I don't know," Sarah replied. "How are you?" I'm quite well," said Ermengarde, overwhelmed with shyness. Then, spa- spasmodically, 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 spas,
Spasmodically. Spasmodically.
spasmodically, spasmodically. Then spasmodically, she thought of something to say which seemed more intimate. Are you very unhappy?" she said in a rush. 断断续续，断断续续。Then, spasmodically, she thought of something to say which seemed more intimate. Are you very unhappy?" she said in a rush. Then Sarah was guilty of an injustice. Just at that moment, her torn heart swelled within her, and she felt that if anyone was as stupid as that, one had better get away from her. Then Sarah was guilty of an injustice. Just at that moment, her torn heart swelled within her. Swell. Her torn heart swelled.
Swell.
Swelled within her. Swelled within her, and she felt that if anyone was as stupid as that, one had better get away from her. "What do you think?" she said. "Do you think I'm very happy?" And she marched past her without another word. In course of time, she realized that if her um, rich, richness had not made her forgotten rich, richness, wretch,
Wretchedness. Wretchedness.
wretchedness,
Wretchedness.
wretchedness. If if her if her wretchedness If her wretchedness had not made her forget things, she would have poor doll Ermengarde was not to be blamed for her unready, awkward ways. She was always awkward, and the more she felt, the more stupid she was given to being. But the sudden thought which had flashed upon her had made her over-sensitive. She is like the others. She is like the others, she had thought. She does not really want to talk to me. She knows no one does. So for several weeks, a barrier stood so for ser- so for several weeks, a barrier stood between them. When they met by chance, Sarah looked the other way, and Ermengarde felt too stiff and embarrassed to speak. Sometimes they nodded to each other in passing, but there were times when they did not even exchange a greeting. If she would rather not talk to me, Sarah thought, I will keep out of her way. Miss Minchin makes that easy enough. Miss Minchin made it so easy that at least they scarcely saw each other at all. At that time it was noticed that Ermengarde was more stupid than ever, and that she looked listless and unhappy. She used to sit in the window seat, huddled in a heap, and stare out of the window without speaking. Once Jess, who was passing, stopped to look at her curiously. "What are you crying for, Ermengarde?" she asked. "I'm not crying," answered Ermengarde in a muffled, unsteady voice. "You are," said Jessie. "A great big tear just rolled down the bridge of your nose and dropped off at the end of it. And there goes another." "Well," said Ermengarde, I am miserable, and no one need interfere." And she turned uh, her plump back, her plump back, plump, moment. She turned her plump back and took out her handkerchief and boldly hid her face in it. That night, when Sarah went to her attic, she was later than usual. She had been kept at work until after the hour at which the pupil went to bed, and after that she had gone to her lesson in the lonely schoolroom. When she reached the top of the stairs, she was surprised to see a glamor of light coming from under the attic door. "Nobody goes there but myself," she thought quickly, "but someone has lighted a candle." Someone had indeed lighted a candle, and it was not burning in the kitchen candlestick she was expected to use, but in one of those belonging to the pupil's bedroom. The someone was sitting upon the battered footstool. Battered, most battered. Eh? Battered,
battered,
battered, battered, battered footstool, and was dressed in her nightgown and wrapped up in a red shawl. It was Ermengarde. "Ermengarde!" cried Sarah. She was so startled that she was almost frightened. You will get into trouble. Ermengarde stumbled up from her footstool. She she shuffled across the attic in her bedroom slipper, which was too large for her. Her eyes and nose were pink with crying. I know I shall if I'm found out, she said, but I don't care. I don't care a bit. Oh, Sarah, please tell me, what's the matter? Why don't you like me anymore? Something in her voice made the familiar lump rise in Sarah's throat. It was so affectionate and simple, so like the old Ermengarde who had asked her to be best friends. It sounded as if she had not meant what she had seemed to mean during these past weeks. I do like you, Sarah answered. I thought, you see, everything is different now. I thought you were different. Ermengarde opened her white eyes wide. Why, it was you who were different, she cried. You didn't want to talk to me. I didn't know what to do. It was you who were different after I came back. Sarah thought a moment. She saw she had made a mistake. I am different, she explained, though not in the way you think. Does not want me to talk the girls. Most of them don't want to talk to me. I thought perhaps you didn't. I tried to keep out of your way. Oh, Sarah, oh my God, almost wailed in her reproachful dismay. Dismay.情歌. In her reproachful dismay, and then, after one more look, they rushed into each other's arms. It must be confessed that Sarah's small black head lay for some minutes on the shoulder covered by the red shawl. When Ermengarde had seemed to uh, desert her, she had felt horribly lonely. Had seemed to desert, desert, 应该是 desert, I think. Yes, desert.
Desert.
Desert. Desert. When Ermengarde had seemed to desert her, she had felt horribly lonely. Afterward, they sat down upon the floor together, Sarah clasping her knee with her arm. Sarah clasping her knees with her arm, and Ermengarde upon, the Ermengarde rolled up in her shawl. Ermengarde looked at the old big-eyed little face adoringly. I couldn't bear it any more, she said. I dare say you could live without me, Sarah, but I couldn't live without you. I was nearly died. So tonight, when I was crying under the bedclothes, I thought all at once of creeping up here. and just begging you to let me to be friends again. You are nicer than I am, said Sarah. I was too proud to try and make friends. You see, now that trials have come, they have shown that I'm not a nice child. I was afraid they would, perhaps wrinkling her forehead with the that is what they were sent for. I don't see any good in them, said Ermengarde stoutly. Stopped. Stopped.
Stoutly.
Stoutly. You are nicer than I am, said Sarah. Too proud to try and make friends. You see, now that trials have come, they have shown that I'm not a nice girl. I was afraid they would, perhaps, night trials. Yeah, I don't see any good in them, said Ermengarde. Neither do I, to speak the truth, admitted Sarah frankly. But I suppose there might be good in things, even if we don't see it. There might, doubtfully, be good in Miss Minchin. Ermengarde looked round the attic with a rather fearsome curiosity. Sarah, she said, do you think you can bear living here? Sarah looked round also. If I pretend it's quite different, I can, she answered. Oh, if I pretend it is a place in a story. She spoke slowly. Her imagination, her imagination was beginning to work for her. It had not worked for her at, at all since her troubles had come up her. She had felt as if it had been stunned. She had felt as if it had been stunned. 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 She had been stunned. 击晕. She had been stunned. Other people have Other people have lived in places. Other people have lived in worse places. Think of the quote of Mount Crystal in the dungeons of the what? Dungeons. Oh, dungeon.
Dungeons.
Dungeons. Dungeons. Oh, no, that's dungeon. Dungeon. Oh, I already learned it. Dungeon.
Dungeon.
Dungeon. Live in the dungeon of the what? Okay, maybe in French. And think of the people in the Bastille. The Bastille, half whispered Ermengarde, watching her and beginning to be fascinated. She remembered stories of the French Revolution with Sarah, with which Sarah had been able to fix in her mind by her dramatic relation of them. No one but Sarah could have done it. A well-known glow, a well-known glow came into Sarah's eyes. Yes, she said, hugging her knees. That will be a good place to pretend about. I am a prisoner in the Bastille. I have been here for years and years and years, and everybody has forgotten about me. Miss Minchin is the jailer. Is it a jailer? Jailer. Miss Minchin is the jailer. Get her. Miss Minchin is the jailer. Is it the jailer? Yes.
Jailer.
Jailer. Miss Minchin is the jailer, and Becky, a sudden light adding itself to the glow in her eyes. Becky is the prisoner in the next cell. She turned to Ermengarde, looking quite like the old Sarah. I shall pretend that, she said, and it will be a great comfort. Ermengarde was at once interrupted and erupted. In
In rapture.
I already learned it once. Was at once interrupted and awed. And will you tell me all about it? She said. May I creep up here at night, whenever it is safe, and hear the things you have made up in the day? It will seem as if we were not best friends than ever. It will seem as if we were more best friends than ever.